Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in today in our episode of America's Pride podcast, part of America's Financial Group, as you know it. Today we have a very special guest, the guy that started with me from the ground. Okay, when we had no agents, nobody. It was probably about 20 of us, maybe about 10 licenses. And he said, Rudy, you know what? I believe in the company. I believe what you guys are about to do or what you're about to do. And he aligns with my values. And let's do it. And he's been committed almost, 2 years?
Yeah, over 2 years.
A little over 2 years. And we're making it happen. Has one of the biggest licensed sales force in the agency. And you guys just made a lot of moves in the past,
Couple
7
months.
days. No,
Yeah,
7
so
days.
even this last 7
The
days.
past 7 days,
Yeah,
there's
sure.
like some amazing moves that happen, and it's gonna change the game for everybody. Anybody that wants to be part of Firelight Financial, America's Pride, of course, but part of Firelight Financial, it's gonna be a game changer for you. It's gonna change everything about everything that we do as an agency. Completely revolutionize the game. I mean, we're gonna touch that at the end. I'm getting super excited, but. Awesome. Great to have you, man. It's a blessing for me since day one. We always share one thing, and I would say this is always what? Our faith. That's the number one thing we have in common, and
That's basically it. That's where
Beautiful.
it starts. That's where it starts, right? When you have shared values, shared faith, it's a lot easier to deal with someone, because one, you already have that trust, you know kind of where they stand, and so it's very easy to work along someone that has the same kind of faith.
I agree with you. So awesome, man. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm super excited. Like I said, the past 7 days, you guys made a lot of moves. In general, I think you guys are about to kill it in the game.
We're already killing it. What do you mean?
Right. But it's gonna take you at another level. I mean,
we're ready.
like
We've
nobody
positioned it.
in
We've
the
been working on
history
this.
of insurance is doing this.
This is what we're setting out to do, Rudy. I mean, I didn't come here, I didn't get into this industry, anything I do, to just be ordinary, just be regular. I always want to be the absolute best that I can be. I'm not trying to be better than anyone or anything like that, but what's the best that I can bring to the table? And so when I think about like that, I always think about, okay, well, how can I change the world? Because I'm a world changer. I know that, with the right focus, the right strategy, and the right effort, you can do it. You can change the world.
Yeah, I agree with you. And and one of the things that we, like you said, I'm a world changer. It's all about what? Changing the world. In the most effective way, I was reading an article the other day, and it said, how fast can you build a country without people getting killed? That's crazy, right? Think about that. How fast can you build a country without people getting killed? So that's amazing. Once again, I'm super excited. So, Coach, as we're heading towards, what's half of the year? You guys are about to start.
July? What are you talking about?
We're in July, right?
Yeah.
So, tell us a little about why is it that you were part of 2 IMOs in the past, right?
I've been a part of a few IMOs.
Few IMOs. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but 2, yes.
Wow. But
Two
the
main ones.
the
Two
two
main
main
ones.
ones,
Two
right?
main
Two main
ones.
ones. 2 IMOs. I remember when you were with us, someone said, "Hey, listen, come on board." Oh, you were on board. They offer you 115% comp, right?
That's
Am I
right.
right? 150% comp. Or say, listen, I'm gonna give you 150% comp. Come on board. Obviously, you did your research, and we're gonna jump on certain things. Why is it that we're here in the industry, right? Why are we different? Why out of all these IMOs and field market organizations that are in the industry today, why did we start it from the ground? I mean,
Why do we do it? Why do we start something new, right?
why? Because it was easy just to.
There's so many out there. Yeah?
It was just easy to be like,
Yeah,
hey,
okay,
bro,
yeah,
you know
let me
what?
see here, let me pick one. Let me pick one.
Let me pick one. I think that one pays more. Let me go over there, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's 3 syllables. I got 3 over here, 3 over here, 3 over there. Pick one, So, but no, and that's a good question, Rudy. Obviously you started this. I came on, shortly after you had already started it. But why did you start it? Like, what did you see? I mean, you saw a bunch of companies out there. What was it that you just said, you know what? I need to do something different. What was that?
Well, I'll tell you what. So, 2017, I joined the insurance industry. Was part of an organization. And you start all excited here and there. You learn a lot of things there. But you do realize, though, and then you start thinking, I'm like, hey, listen. I had my first business, 2016. I started my first business, so I was already like a business owner.
Like an entrepreneur.
So now I was an entrepreneur, started my business here and there. So the thing about it was this: I realized that hey, this is the greatest industry on the planet, right? The financial industry. You talk about a $100+ trillion industry. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to start another business. So, but I did realize something there. You know, I said, you know, is there something better out there, like when it comes to like compensation? Because it's always about that, right? Is there something better with compensation?
Show me the money.
Show me the money, right? You know, I believe this company started like at a 25, 30%.
You know, Rudy, I don't mean to interject you, but let's make sure people are clear on that. When we say what people talking about money, I mean, let's be honest. Most people just, that's what gets their attention, and that's what, you know, people want that. But it's not because of the money, right? It's because of what the money does. It gives you opportunities, right? To change your life.
Freedom.
Exactly, right? And you're able to do something different with your life. So when we talk about money, let's make sure it's clear, right? We're not over here money hungry people.
No, not at all. I mean, you can tell.
Look, we're capitalists. No big deal.
We're capitalists.
With values. Continue.
With values. I agree with you. And you can tell right off the bat. Like, look at our compensation plan.
Yeah.
Like, we pay more than any other
That's true.
insurance market organization in the U.S. today. Like, we have the highest compensation.
I like to take full credit for that, by the way.
I love that.
I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. And also, you actually play one of the biggest parts of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's always about delivering what's best. You know, how can we give the best to our agents? And that's it. It's all about that. So I agree with you. You play a big part in it. Until today, you play one of the biggest parts in the agency because you have one of, if not the biggest, licensed force right now.
Right.
So that's awesome, bro. Congratulations. That's amazing. But where I'm going with this is like, you know, you started really thinking, I'm like, hey, I mean, I sell 1,000, I make 300, and that's a 30% comp, right? And I sell 1,000, and I make, you know, 40%. That's 40. I mean, that's $400. I'm like, it's not that bad. But when I started researching the industry, and I'm like, and I started realizing like, hey, what's the most companies pay? You know, I heard of a company. The most I knew at that time was like a company pay 120%. It's like, wait a minute. If this company's paying 120%. Then why are we starting at 30%, you know? So obviously I cannot change a system when it's already built. So I started realizing, I'm like, we cannot change the system.
That's right.
There's no way you're going to go talk to the CEO and tell him, hey, so you're doing something wrong, change this for me. He's not going to care about you.
Especially something like, hey, give me more money.
You can't say that, right? It's going to be like,
see you.
Talk to you later. Obviously, you realize that there's no way you can change the system of like maybe 10,000 agents. At that time, there were 10,000 agents. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go look for something else. And you went around, and then you found another one. They're like, oh, you know, come on board. We're going to start you 110%. It's like, bro, 110% sounds like a great idea. But I'm like, listen, I don't ride with any carrier that doesn't provide living benefits.
That's the key.
So
right there.
why do I do that? Like, that's a principle I have. Why? Because, listen, I had scoliosis. When I was 14 years old, I was hospitalized. I had a surgery, over a $200,000 surgery, $250,000 surgery in Children's Hospital. So for me, being disabled is not something that someone told me. I was there. So living benefits for me in a life insurance policy are the number one priority. So I said, you know, how are we going to do that? I'm like, well, then I started realizing, I'm like, you know what? They're giving me 110% comp, but they mainly want me to write with a carrier that doesn't provide living benefits in California.
That's right.
And if I want to make that 110%, then I have to write with a carrier that doesn't have the best products. And you can argue.
And they're really expensive.
They're expensive. I'm like,
one of the
and
most
on top of
expensive
this,
out
listen, I started the Hispanic market. Majority of it, right? I'm like, they don't take agents or clients with ITIN.
Ooh, bad form company out there, whoever you are.
Right.
I'm not going to mention your name, but man. Well, and especially when there's so many other companies that are doing it.
Right,
Why? You know, why would you deny someone? Why would you deny yourself business? Number one, like,
Right.
Are you in this? You know, are you here to make money or what?
Yeah.
But there's a family that needs coverage and needs protection. The only thing that makes them any different from their neighbor or myself or anyone else, it's just a piece of paper that says they're allowed to be here or something. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's still insuring a life. It doesn't change anything from a risk perspective or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I think that's where these companies are losing a lot or leaving a lot of money on the table and not serving a huge
Market.
portion of the population. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's in need of their services. They need this stuff. The Hispanic market and a lot of the minorities, you know, populations and segments of the populations, like, they don't plan financially. They need things like cash value, you know, permanent life insurance that will help them save money because they don't invest. They're not smart with their money. So I think these companies could be helping America, helping themselves, helping the communities if they serve them. You know what I mean?
And it's all about that, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about how can you serve better, you know? And you always follow a biblical principle, right? Like, you know, when two disciples were sitting with, 12 disciples were arguing about, but two of them were arguing about, listen, who's going to be the biggest one in the kingdom of heaven? And everybody's fighting
Who's
like,
going to be first?
who's your favorite? Who's my favorite? Well, I'll tell you who my favorite is. Or who's going to be the biggest one? Which one? Is the one to serve all.
That's right.
And some of them were probably like, oh, I didn't like that response. I'm like, well, the reality is that that's what it is. How can I serve people better? And look, where we have come as an agency, I mean, we're actually in the sectors of the insurance, in the branches of the insurance sector that nobody's doing.
That's right.
Like, we're actually serving. If you talk about, like, how do you guys serve people better? This is how we serve people better, okay? If you have someone that just passed away, I'm talking about, like, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. If you have someone that just passed away, 5-10 minutes ago, 1 minute ago, you can call a number, and we can help you find a funeral home, a church. I mean, wow.
Yeah. No one's doing that, by the way.
Like, talk about that.
That's revolutionary.
Like, how can, okay, well, we can talk about anything, but it's all about how can we serve what? People better.
I like that. I love
That's
that.
it. I mean, it's just,
You know, speaking about that, I mean, that's one of the reasons, you know, when I got in the industry, I was in different companies, and I saw the same thing as you, what they were doing, the way they were treating people, the way they were treating the agents, and, you know, being in the financial services industry for over 20 years,
wow.
I know math. So when I started doing the math, and I started, you know, seeing, like, you know, why are these policies, or why is this, you know, product or solution not working well? Why is it lapsed? So I started digging in. I wanted to understand. Right. And once I learned the math, and I learned the numbers, and I learned the systems, I learned how or how, you know, insurance actually works, and the way the IRS allows insurance to function, and all the benefits of insurance, it all just became very clear to me. And it highlighted the wrong things that were being done at the IMO that was in the industry. And that's why I was like, man, no wonder insurance has such a bad reputation. And you know what it is? It's not insurance itself. It's the agent.
Yeah.
When you say that you are a life insurance agent, it sucks, because it's a noble profession, but instantly people automatically just think sleazy salesman.
Yeah.
Because the industry historically hasn't done the best job of serving the clients with the best solutions and things like that. So I think that's one of the things that just inspired me. I'll tell you what it was. I went to my leader at the time, and I was explaining to him, hey, man, I think we could do things differently. Like, we can grow. And, you know, that particular IMO doesn't do leads or anything, but I was trying to do organic marketing, digital marketing, things like that. And he's like, we don't do that here, because their model is all about recruiting and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, you know, and I was like, well, but can we try something new? He's like, well, if you want, we don't do that here. If you want to do something new, go start your own agency.
And you were like, thank you.
No, that was it. I was like, wait, that's an option? Like, okay, yeah. Because, you know, you get in the industry, like I said, you're all hyped up, you're happy and excited and everything, and you don't know what you don't know. And so once you start to learn, then you're like, okay, well, there are options out there. There are other companies. This isn't the only company. I realize now there are lots of companies out there that I can choose from. And so when I started to do that, I started researching. That's when someone, you're right, just reached out to me, and you know, we got in contact. And the thing that, you know, inspired me was when we started talking, we really realized, okay, our values really aligned, our mission, and what we're trying to do. We really are trying to serve people, trying to do the right thing. And that was instantly for me why I knew I needed to jump on board and partner with you. And hey, we said, you know, hey, we're going to do this, and we started making the changes right away. Right, we kind of talked about this. Like, hey, if we're gonna do this, let's go all out. Let's not just change an IMO and the way IMOs work. Let's change an industry. Let's change the world. Let's change the way insurance should be run. If the IRS gives us these guidelines, these rules, then why aren't we building products that are actually really good for us to build wealth and give us all the protections of life insurance and stuff? So that's what I'm excited about. That's probably the thing that gets me up in the morning to come to work and to do this stuff, to help, you know, grow this agency, this firm. And the one thing I love, Rudy, is that we're not a one-trick pony. We don't just do insurance.
Right.
Right. But that's not the only thing. Most IMOs, that's all they do. That's all. Right. That's all they do is insurance. So,
Insurance guy.
talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that we're doing and what your long-term vision is for, let's say, AFG.
So I'll tell you what. When you really think about finances, right? Because there's a difference between coming into insurance and not knowing anything. Right. I was there. I was that guy.
Right. I think most agents are. I would say probably 90% of them.
Right. Most of us are like that. Yeah. So I come to insurance, don't know anything. You're like, okay, but one of the things that open your eyes when you come into the insurance industry is that you learn how money works, right? You learn compound interest. And that's one of the things that you're like, oh, okay, well, now I'm learning that money makes more money. So, I mean, how can I make more money so I can invest it somewhere and then, or help my clients make more money so they can invest it somewhere and they compound, the money can duplicate between, like, let's say 7 to 12 years, right? Or even sooner. So that's exciting, right? Mm-hmm. One of my favorite quotes about money and compound interest is Warren Buffett. He said, we share the same birthday, like 8:30. He's like 91, 92, but anyway, so the point of this is, like he said, hey, if you don't learn to make money while you sleep, you're gonna work
until you die. Yeah. And
I took that up the chest, and I'm like, wow, that's painful, but that is true. I'm like, that is true. And at this time I was like running my e-commerce, and I'm like, yeah, I was making money while asleep because you put a product somewhere online, whether it's like eBay, Amazon.com, and then it sells automatically. So you're making money while
anytime of day, it doesn't matter.
Anytime of day.
All around the world.
That's it. You can work from a toilet. I would say this.
That's right.
So I'm like, this makes sense. I mean, but now you're learning like at a bigger scale. You have a client who has $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million. How can you put my money into a product, or I don't have to lose money when the market goes down, or maybe I want to be risky. Maybe I want to risk some money.
That's right.
So then you got options to do like mutual funds, and you got options to do stocks. So
or crypto.
Or crypto, right? You can do whatever you want. Or real estate.
Or real estate.
So we started saying, you know what, we need to add additional sectors, right? Or additional sectors, because you got the insurance sector, that's one of the biggest ones. Then you got the real estate. It's like people need to buy a property, right? Now, if you go look at
a huge part of personal finance, and probably some of the biggest investment,
if not the biggest one, is going to be.
It's probably the biggest investment most people make, right? Yeah.
It's real estate.
The biggest purchase.
It's the real estate, because you need everybody's going to buy a house.
Right. You should.
You should, right? You're not always going to be renting. I mean.
And if you're out there, if you don't know, you should be trying to have a paid off house at the very least by the time you're 60. You do not want to retire with the house payment.
Yep.
That's like personal finance 101. If you want to be successful in your finances and you want to have long-term wealth, and you mind if you don't run out of money in your retirement, make sure you have a paid off house by the time you're 60.
Because worst case scenario, you tap into that.
Yeah.
And that's retirement income.
That's right.
That's on top of your 401k, whatever you got, or your individual retirement account.
So real estate, and then what else?
And then we got the security sector. You can be a one-stop.
So when you say securities, like what are we talking about? Like actual investment management?
You're talking about investment management, mutual funds, stocks.
So are we talking about full like SEC, FINRA certified, the whole deal?
Yes, sir. You can get your Series 7 to become a general securities broker with us. You can do that.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And that's one of the things that, like I said, that I love, that kind of caught my attention, is because we're not a one-trick pony. And if you know what, we tell people start with insurance because it's the easiest. The easiest
one. I mean,
it's a $40 course.
I always say this, Coach. If you don't make it in insurance, don't try to jump somewhere else.
That's it.
That's it. Listen, if you cannot make it in insurance, it's a 32-hour course. 32-hour course. 32-hour course is the license going to cost you an average of like $350 to $400. If you cannot make it in insurance, there's no way you're gonna make it in real estate, or in other sectors. Because what you're doing is like, you have the easiest sector to tap into, like the biggest industry on the planet. Now you got people, who want to go. If you notice, California has close to, like, I was reading the other day, 80% of 75 to 80% of people in California who got a real estate license are not active. Or the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of people do 80% of what?
The work.
Of the work.
That's right.
So where I'm going with this is, like, a lot of people try to jump into real estate, and they don't have something called a funnel, a pipeline of business. So you're like, then what's gonna happen? Are you gonna go door knock?
Mm-hmm.
You have to build a network.
That's right.
So what we try to do is like, you know what? Let us help you build a network in the easiest what?
Easiest sector.
In the easiest sector, insurance. Grow up 50, 100 agents. Once you go to 50, 100 licensed agents, then hey, dude, no problem. We'll sponsor your license to be part of AFG Realty.
Get your real estate license. We'll pay for it.
We'll pay for it.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
And so it's that career progression, right? So you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay as an insurance agent. Like start out, master it, grow a team, get some passive income coming in. So what? So then you can move on to either real estate or potentially even to Series 7 and full securities license.
Securities license. Yeah, correct. But why do you want to do this? Like people are like, well, what do you want to do this? And I always say this: are we a family company?
Yep.
So like, how are we a family company? You know. I mean, are we a family company? So why don't we build a structure that we're going to be a family company? I'm like, eventually, your mom, your dad, your daughter, your son, your girlfriend, your fiance, or your ex-wife, they might want to do real estate, right? And normally, what is going to happen? You're going to send them somewhere else.
That's right.
Like, hey, listen, you can do real estate with us, but start here. You got to start generating enough leads, enough. You got to build a network big enough for you to start saying, listen, I want to become a broker. I want to become an agent. You can become a broker with us under AFG Realty. And we'll pay for your license. But first, I need you to understand, number one, the concepts of finances, how insurance works, why insurance is the most valuable asset you can have. I mean, when I say it's the most valuable asset, it's the most valuable asset you can have before you start thinking about retirement. Because the reality is that, okay, if you lose your income tomorrow, who's going to pay your bills? And many people start thinking about, I need to start investing. I'm like, listen, let's not talk about investment. Just talk about like, if you get disabled tomorrow, look at the data. 60% of U.S. bankruptcies are because of what?
Medical issues.
Medical debt. So, okay, so you're like, sooner or later, you're going to have an illness, a sickness coming knock your door. The question is, are you ready or not?
That's right.
Now, when you say, am I ready or not, you're like, okay, then what do I need to do? Then I need to fund my retirement account. No, the first thing you got to do is, the number one thing you have to do is question yourself. Do you have an income replacement insurance? If the answer is no, then ask the second question. Do I have a disability income insurance? If the question is no, then you got to ask the third question. This is the last question, okay? Do I have a life insurance with living benefits? If the answer is yes, congratulations. If the answer is I don't know, then you can call Angel.
Yeah, you need to get a hold of us right away.
Call Angel, run away, right? Yeah. And review your policy.
You know, it's funny because people, one of the biggest objections that people give me, or even when I coach people financially, it's, well, I already have a policy with my work. Yeah. I already have a policy through my work. And one of the things that I found when I actually start to probe and ask them is, okay, well, how much is it? Number one, it's typically very, very small, maybe only a year or two of salary, right? So let's say you're even making $100,000. Most you're going to get paid out maybe 100 or 200 grand. One, none of those policies have living benefits, right? None of them, and they're all work policies, right? They're group policies. And number three, which is probably one of the biggest ones, is you actually don't own that policy. If you get laid off, if you leave your work, you quit, or if the company just decides that they're not going to offer that benefit anymore, because some companies did that during the pandemic, just stopped offering benefits, right? Because they didn't have any money. Basically, if you leave, that policy is not yours. You can't take it with you, right? Now, you might convert it, and they're going to charge you a whole bunch of money, right? So people think that they have this work policy, but the moment the company decides to let them go, that's it. They're not covered anymore. Mm-hmm. And if they had some kind of medical issue or something, they could become already uninsurable.
Wow.
So that's one thing that people need to really understand. If you do not have your own life insurance policy, I don't care what kind of policy it is, but as long as it has living benefits, then you need to have your own, because you're the owner of it. You can take it with you. It doesn't matter what job you have. Yep. That policy is in force because you're paying it. You own it.
Right.
And if it's a cash value life insurance, it better be structured correctly for maximum cash value so that you can have the absolute most growth and you're not paying for insurance that you don't need. So, and you got to talk to someone that specializes and knows how to do that, because most agents, 97% of them have no clue about that stuff and how to do it right, and they're not worth their weight in salt. But
Yeah, and it
Luckily,
costs you a lot of money.
It does.
I mean, you really think about it, like
ends up costing people lots of money.
$50 extra a month on cost of insurance.
Yeah, over time that adds up.
That adds, I mean,
That could be
that
hundreds
adds
of
up plus
thousands
the
of dollars.
compound
That's right.
interest.
That's right.
$40, $30, whatever it is, even $70 or $15. Still, at the long run, it's gonna cost you what? Retirement income. So you have to know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, reach out to coach.
That's right.
He's gonna show you how to do it, 100%. And if you think you know how to do it, then you can reach out to him. Question all you like.
Well, that's one thing that people don't understand. You know, you can ask for quotes.
Right.
You can ask for quotes all day long. You can go to any agent; they'll happily give you quotes. Right. Now, they may keep calling you afterwards, but the point is that you can go and look around. Just because they give you a quote doesn't mean you have to buy or submit the application. What you're looking for is, can you do something better?
Yep.
Right? Let's say you already have a policy or something. What else is out there? You don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. So I would say to anyone out there that's watching this, listening, just reach out to an agent, hopefully someone that knows, and maybe multiple agents, and get some different quotes. Just find out. And that goes for all types of insurance, whether it's your car insurance, home insurance. Yep. I mean, these are things that you should do. You should shop around, you should compare, and figure out what is out there so that you can get the best deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all about that, right? You said anyone can give you a quote, but you're going to get the best quote.
Yeah. Well, that's
at the end of the day, it's money that's coming out of your pockets.
That's right.
And you go back to, like, what's your most valuable asset? Like, when it comes to finances, what's your most valuable asset? Many people are going to say, it's my house. Many people are going to say, you know what? It's my life insurance. Many people are going to say, you know what? It's my retirement. The reality is that your most valuable asset, it's none of them. It's what?
Your income.
It's your income.
Your income, your ability to make money.
That's it. It's your income. If you have no income coming tomorrow, what's going to happen to your life insurance?
Gone.
Unless you got a waiver premium.
That's right.
Then you're good to go. But if you don't,
or if you have money saving that you can pull out and you can use it,
or if you have a permanent insurance policy that has cash value, then it pays by itself.
That's right.
Got a client who couldn't pay his policy for 4 years. He funded properly. I mean, gosh, 4 years later, he starts, hey, you know, Rudy, I wanna keep contributing to my life insurance policy. Yep. I said, you're good to go. Download the app, put it through there.
Just make a payment.
Make a payment. That's it. Yeah. And when he logged in, he realized that, wow, you know what? He had a good amount of cash value that the interest that he was earning, a portion of it, like 60% of it, was paying what?
The cost of insurance.
The cost of insurance.
And it was still growing.
And it was still growing.
So when he got it, he had more money than when he stopped.
Correct.
Paying. That's fantastic.
It's insane. Like,
so, and this is one of the things that excites me, right? Being a financial coach and trying to really find ways to help families with different strategies to meet their goals, whatever it is they're trying to do. Right? That's to me what it's about, right? You know, whether it's to buy a house, send kids to school, or retire with a certain amount of money. What people don't understand is the way insurance works, the way it should work, when it's done right, when it's properly structured. You can fund a policy, let's say you're going to buy a house, and you're going to save that money anyways, right? So the question is, where do you save that money? Well, okay, most people are just going to put it in the bank. Right. Some people are going to be really dumb, put it underneath their mattress. But the problem is with inflation, right? Your dollars will lose value every year. Normal times, it's like 2 or 3%, right? 2.5%. Right now, what, 8, 9%, 10%? Yeah. Those are the numbers they're telling you. It's probably much worse. Yeah. But
right.
So if there's a better place to save your money, well, you're going to save it anyways to buy this house. So if they use a cash value to save the money, they could save that money for a few years until they have the money that they need to put the down payment. You can borrow against that. They'll use your death benefit as the collateral. Your money stays in there, keeps growing. Yeah. Okay, this is the way insurance works if you do it right. Right. They could use that money to buy the house, pull that money out that they saved, not make another payment for the rest of their life, and they'll have life insurance for the rest of their life with cash value that they can tap into, and they'll have a house that they bought, and they'll never have to pay back that down payment. It's an amazing thing. It's like, but the one thing I always tell people is that you have to make sure you're working with a specialist because most life insurance agents have no clue how to do that, and you have to work with the right company that has the software that allows you to do that. Yeah, I mean, not every company allows you to do that, right? And that's one of the reasons, like, we did realize, right, like, there's a company that believes in get term and embed the difference. And there's another company I read that says, listen, you got to get a return, what do you call that, cashback option, return premium.
So there's the one that says get term and invest difference. They don't they only believe in term insurance. Then you got another company that says, listen, hey, we actually believe in term insurance, but the right proper insurance you should get a return or premium insurance. I'm like, return premium insurance, okay, what does that mean? Well, if you get an actual insurance, basic term insurance, you have to think about, does my term insurance have living benefits? That's it. If the answer is no, replace that immediately. That's it. You're probably overpaying for the cost of insurance. Number two is, what is the return or premium? What is it going to cost me, right? It's more expensive. It's a lot more expensive insurance. Do you really need to pay more expensive insurance? And do you really need to pay more premiums into a policy that's paying you what? 0% of what? Of interest. So let me tell you something. When you get a return premium or a cashback option policy, this is what you're getting. You're getting that policy and you're getting your money 20, 15, 30 years later, minus the cost of inflation. Now, let's say average cost of inflation is what? 5% a year, average 3%. This year's horrible, what, 8, 9%? But say the average is like 4%. You do 4 times 10 is what? 40. Okay, you do 20 years. What's that?
It's a lot.
It's 80%, right? So 80% of your money, so you lost 80% of the value of your money.
It's so bad.
Even if you do 30%, I mean, if you do 3%, it's 30%, 10 years, 2 years is 60%. You get your money in 20 years. Now, if you live for another 10 years, that's what? That's 30 years. That's 90%. You only get 10. Gosh, your money, whatever you get back, whether it's 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 on a return or premium policy, you're gonna get your money devaluated at a easy at a 30-year term, 90%.
Man, you know what? That
hurts.
You know what? When you put it like that, this is why people really need to be thinking about the future, because people, if you don't understand really how money works, and you know, and this is just a small touching the surface.
Really,
when you really talk about macroeconomics and, you know, monetary policy and the way we're printing money and the debt and the dollar and the devaluation of the dollar and everything. People, you guys need to wake up about how money actually works and what's actually going on, and where you can put your money to keep it safe and keep it growing.
Right.
And more importantly, okay, put it in a tax-free retirement account.
It's all about that.
TFRA, okay? Because if you don't know, and you should know this, we've printed a lot of money and we're in a lot of trouble. Our country's in a lot of trouble. We are gonna go through a recession, or they might try to prop it up and prolong it again, keep kicking the can down the road.
Right.
But eventually we're gonna have to deal with this problem.
Kicking the can down the road.
And the only way we're gonna deal with this problem, Rudy, and you know this, is if we raise taxes.
Who's gonna pay for it?
Someone's got to pay for it, right? So
right.
Nothing is free, right? So yeah, we're asking for all the stimulus money and everything else, but someone's gonna have to pay for it eventually. So if people aren't putting money in a tax-free vehicle, at least a portion of their, you know, long-term retirement savings, they are doing themselves a disservice, because it is likely that taxes will go up in the future.
Of course.
And if they're just using their 401ks or IRAs or traditional investment accounts, you know, taxable investment accounts, you guys are going to be paying a lot of money in taxes, and the rest of us are going to be sitting fat and happy, not paying a dime in taxes because of these types of accounts. And there's a book that you told me to read, which I read it like instantly, was The Power of Zero.
Oh, sure. It's amazing.
Great book. David McKnight. A lot of credit for that. But if you read that book and you need help to implement those strategies, you need to come talk to us.
Yeah, you do. Because at the end of the day, what's it worth $1 million if you have it on the taxable bracket?
Imagine if you're 33%.
$1 million, $500,000. Think about that. 30%. If you're 30%, that's $300K. That's just federal. Now, if you're in a state like California, the love state tax,
another
11%,
yeah,
easy,
exactly.
10.50. So think about that, right?
That's $450,000.
Congratulations! You just work half your life, if not 50% of your work years, or if not 100% of your work years, but it's 20 to 30 years, and all of your money is going to go where?
Uncle Sam.
Nobody in their right mind is thinking today, saying, hey, listen, I'm going to work really hard today, and when I turn 60 years old, I want to give 20% of that to Uncle Sam. Do you want to pay taxes on the seed, or you want to pay taxes on the fruit? Smart people do it where?
On the seed.
Because that way it grows tax-free.
That's right. So
if he gives me 100 fruits or 1 or 2 or 10, I want to make sure it's tax-free. And worst case scenario, if we go to a war, because, you know, we're always involved in wars, right? Um, we love going there. So, as a country, as USA,
Yeah.
it's always some kind of war. There's always some kind of war. They're gonna raise what?
Taxes.
Taxes. What was the tax bracket in World War II?
It was probably pretty high, 75. I think,
Like
so.
above 70. Yeah, down this one. Think about that. That's crazy.
I know people don't realize that. Like right now, we've had
We have
historically
the lowest,
low,
actually, the lowest
right?
tax
But
bracket.
there have been times where we've been above 50%, and
Wow.
people don't remember those times, obviously.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't remember who said this, but I do remember if people fail to forget history,
They're doomed to repeat it or something
they're
like that.
doomed to repeat it again. Yep.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So,
So, hey, Rudy, let's wrap this up because I know we've been talking for a while, but let's do this again. Let's keep
real.
talking.
Yeah, man.
Let's school some people.
well, congratulations, man. You could look what you built here. It's amazing, bro. This
We're
is
doing big things. Hey, you said that there's a big thing happening in the last 7 days. What people don't know is that it's actually been working on this for years now and months.
it all started here,
And-
right? I
right.
remember that conversation with you. You're like, you know what? We need a studio. We need a studio.
We
can
need
go,
this,
studio,
we need to do
studio,
that.
studio.
And we're working on it.
Gosh, I mean,
Look, if people want
amazing.
an opportunity, if people want a chance to change their lives, if people want something than what they have right now,
Right.
they're tired, they're sick and tired, or maybe they know that they're destined for something else, something greater. Like, this is why we've built this company and the other companies that we're involved with and the other stuff that we're doing to give people hope, to give people opportunity and a chance to make it. Like, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. This is not an easy business. Business in general is not easy.
It's not easy.
People think you just, I'm going to open a store and all of a sudden all these sales are going
the
to happen.
clients are gonna come in, right?
No, you got to market, you got to put in the work. And so, understand it's a real business. But if you commit 2, 3, maybe even 5 years to this business,
Right.
you could
Oh,
change
easily.
your life and your family tree forever. So I'm excited about that because that's what we're doing here is we're giving people a lot of opportunities and we're expanding. So come reach out to us. If you're an agent out there and you're sick and tired of paying for leads, I mean, we're giving leads over here. So this is how we do things.
So wait, hold up. I gotta hear this again. Wait, hold up. You just said we're giving leads for free here?
That's what we do.
Amazing.
That's what we do.
I'm-
Look,
watch this.
ultimately, we're trying to help you make money as fast as possible. So we have other ways for you guys to make money, and we're trying to help you. We're trying to make sure that you are successful. I think the statistics are very alarming. I think 80% of life insurance agents quit within the first 2 years. Why? Because they don't make enough money. And if you're in those other IMOs, you're either burnt out because you're just recruiting, or you're having a
Or your
spend
blew
a lot
all
of
your
money.
savings.
Yeah.
I mean, I met people, man. I met people
Oh yeah,
that blew $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on their leads,
yeah.
and then their agent got their leads,
Oh yeah.
and you just spent $3,000, $4,000, and turns out to be like the other agent that's bought this leads
The
in the
same
same
leads.
area and the same leads. They just recycle the leads and they sold you the same leads. Now,
Oh, man,
that's
that's so bad.
Now, listen, you're paying for this.
Right.
I mean, it's money out of your pockets.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a big investment.
it's a big investment. I mean, I met people we have people from, we're not gonna say the name of the agency, but we have people from agencies where they blew their last $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in of their savings. Like, listen, blew $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 of their savings into leads, and it turns out to be that the other agent that's maybe, in a different office, same regional area, got the same what? Got the same leads, same clients, same everything. They spend $3,000 to $4,000 on recycled leads. Now, what my man here is doing, coach, is obviously this is a certification process. You got to reach out to him and see how you can get free leads. Now, if you speak Spanish, we got more leads in Spanish. Free leads in Spanish. Everything. We got more free leads in Spanish than any other IMO in the history of the United States. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Especially because Spanish leads are very expensive. You didn't know that.
They're expensive. They're
here-
more expensive.
But here's the thing, Rudy. We give leads for free because we want to help agents and they share the commission and whatnot. But
Of course.
but what we're really doing, what we're really excited about, is we're teaching agents how to generate their own leads.
Yeah,
Where you don't have to pay for them unless you run an ad or something. But
of course.
we're teaching them how to do it organically. And that's really what we're trying to do here. That's how we're trying to change the industry. We're gonna help agents do this stuff much, much more efficiently, much more, let's say, cheaply. But the faster they can make money with the least amount of investment is gonna help agents be very successful and stick around because people need your help. We need more agents out there.
Yeah,
helping
we
people.
do. We got an amazing CPA tax referral program.
Yeah.
I mean, we got such an amazing program. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, gosh, you did such a phenomenal work there. It's
We're working on it.
gorgeous.
We're doing it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, once again, if you're in the insurance industry, okay, or if you're in the real estate industry, or your security license, but if you're in the insurance industry, and you want to reach out to us, how you can get free appointments. Once again, this is leads. This is appointments that are already like clients that want help. You just gotta get on the phone, follow up with them, and boom.
That's right. Virtual sales,
phone sales,
yeah.
phone sales, whatever. Reach out to Angel. Hey,
check the number right here.
right
There you
there
go.
at the bottom.
Or
Hey,
or
buddy,
email
listen,
me.
I saw this online. What do I gotta do? Well, first of all, you gotta go to a certification process. Make sure you know what you're talking about, and you gotta know how to structure products properly. Okay.
But you know what? Though, we train them and we certify them here.
Love
So
that.
don't worry about it. And it's all
So
free, too.
It's all free. Like, you pay $0 to join the biggest diversified FMO in the industry. We're the only diversified, actually. We're the only diversified.
only one,
We're
right?
the only one. There's nobody else. Okay. It's amazing. And we didn't even talk about pre-need, right?
Oh, yeah, funerals.
Gosh. We talk about, like,
Let's do that next time.
let's do it next time. We didn't talk about pre-needs. We did talk about if you have someone that just passed away, you could just call a number.
That's right. At
They'll-
need. That's right.
Gosh, it's amazing. I mean, once again, we're here as an agent. If you're from another agency, you just want to see, hey, I want to see what these guys are about. I want to see what they're talking about. I want to see. If you're an agent that's from another agency, you know, we're all about adding more value to our clients. Number one priority here is our what? Our clients. And then our agents.
That's right.
That's it. So, with that being said, Coach, it's a pleasure. It's always a blessing.
Thank you, man.
God
Appreciate
bless
it.
you, man.
God
Thank
bless
you
you.
for having me, and I'm excited, bro. Look at this amazing studio you built here.
Yeah, we need
It's
maybe
awesome.
we'll give them a sneak peek next time.
Of course.
All right, everyone. Have a good one. Take care.
Yeah.